As Democrats emerge from their electrifying convention in Chicago, Trump finds himself on the defensive, and it's not clear that he knows what to do. Kamala Harris has put Trump in a box, and he is struggling to break out. Donald Trump has never experienced anything like the past month as a presidential candidate. VP Kamala Harris, a dark and Indian American lady, has pushed the white dominant man to the sidelines of the public discussion, denying him the spotlight he wants and continually requests. Harris delivered an address crafted to keep her on the crest of a wave that has changed the contours of the presidential election as Democrats concluded their electrifying national convention here on Thursday night. The Democrats are involved, the former president is in a box, and it is unclear whether he is aware of his options. Trump has used a tried-and-true strategy that in the past kept his opponents off balance and himself at the center of attention in an effort to break free from this bind. However, as the campaign progresses to the next phase, the focus will shift to him and his efforts to regain his composure, rather than Harris's performance on the road ahead. In her acceptance speech, Harris spoke bluntly about the election stakes. Individual Americans, this political race isn't just the most significant of our lives, it is one of the main in the existence of our country, she said. Donald Trump is a selfish man in many ways. However, the outcomes, yet the results of returning Donald Trump to the White House are very difficult. Imagine Donald Trump operating without safeguards. While she was speaking, Trump was delivering a steady stream of criticism on Truth Social. But he did so in the same scattered and occasionally perplexing manner as he has done on many of his recent appearances. "Is she discussing me?" In one post, he wrote. As Harris has skimmed through the previous month, Trump has taken to online entertainment or to well-disposed media interviews in order to set the conditions of the discussion, yet that has misfired. He has experimented with invective, exaggeration, and lies, which he has previously utilized to shift attention, sometimes to divert attention from his own issues or other times to divert attention from a rival. He didn't expect it to succeed. The previous president has taken a stab at counter-programming to compel the media to glance toward him this week. He should have known that this would be Harris's week, just as the Republican convention had been his week. During his convention, the only piece of news from Democrats was that pressure was growing on President Joe Biden to give up his bid for re-election. Perhaps painfully, Trump has realized that fewer people are listening to him right now. In a nutshell, nothing appears to be functioning as it once did. Harris enjoys the attention and momentum as the Democrats leave Chicago and the campaign enters its final season. It is unknown whether this can last much longer. Everybody currently anticipates the following round of public and landmark state surveys to see whether Harris gets the customary skip that goes with an effective show, and whether the excitement that was in plain view this week inside the Unified Center and at gigantic meetings long before will settle a little. As a large number of the lights who talked here this week reminded liberals, this is an extremely close race, close enough unquestionably that even a perplexed Trump could win, on the off chance that he recaptures his legs as an up-and-comer, which is one of the greatest inquiries right now. Many things are involved in campaigns: the mood and state of the nation, the character and quality of candidates, policy recommendations, the strength of a party's infrastructure, money and advertising. In any case, they are likewise about certain intangibles, things that don't ascend to the degree of high strategy or stately discussion, including at times a step-by-step jiu-jitsu challenge at which Trump once succeeded. Examine reviews. Trump is more concerned with television ratings and crowd sizes than anything else, but Harris has fought back against him and even defeated him at his own game for the past month. She now draws crowds that match or exceed his. When Biden was expected to be the Democratic nominee, her supporters were just as enthusiastic as his. Her campaign raises a lot more money than Trump does, thanks to donations from the general public. By at least Wednesday, her convention's ratings were superior to his. To put it plainly, by the sorts of measures that Trump appears to think often about most, he has fallen behind a lady he has defamed and for whom he has said he has no regard. The debate that Republicans claim they want has not been engaged on the issues. A week ago, a poll conducted by The Washington Post, ABC News, and Ipsos found that voters trusted Trump more than Harris on a number of crucial issues, including inflation, the economy, immigration, and the war between Israel and Gaza. Harris partakes in the benefit on fetus removal, race relations, medical services, safeguarding a vote-based system, arrangements to the High Court and firearm savagery. At the convention this week, Harris started to answer some of the unanswered questions about her positions, but there is still a lot more to learn. Her title was the least known presidential nominee in modern times on the editorial page of the Wall Street Journal. She will continue to be pressured to fill in the gaps, but with only a short amount of time remaining in the campaign, she may decide to keep her description of policy priorities broad and general, in the hope that she can gain the public's trust, without having to reveal specifics that could alienate certain constituencies. Due in part to the fact that he has already served one term, Trump is now one of the most well-known presidential candidates ever. Since riding the escalator at Trump Tower in 2015 to launch his first campaign, he has never left the public domain. In any case, there are inquiries for him too about what his genuine needs would be in a subsequent term. He has eluded the conservative plan called Project 2025, which was created by many of his allies. While he has posted approach positions on his site, he doesn't offer a lot of explicitness or insight concerning his arrangements. He has a long history of changing form and has always liked things to be vague. When Harris and Trump meet for their first debate on September 10, many of the issues will come up. Missing something startling among sometimes, that is destined to be Trump's chance to reassert himself and recover energy. But will he be prepared? Were it not for Biden's vacillating presentation at the CNN banter in Atlanta in June, Trump could have drawn the main part of the analysis. He spent most of the 90 minutes providing enough distortions and old and new lies to make fact-checkers work all night. Harris will also be put to the test during the debate. Despite the fact that testimony this week in Chicago focused primarily on her experience as a prosecutor, the debates concern both the prosecution and the defense. She'll have to show that she's just as good at the latter as she is at the former. However, if Trump is as distracted and disorganized as he has been, her performance might not matter as much. The shocking decision of a president to end his candidacy just a few months before an election, as well as the speed and skill with which Harris took over the party, would unnerve the majority of candidates. The major themes of the election changed overnight, shifting from a backward-looking contest between two old, unpopular men to one of the future versus the past and pitting a woman from the new generation against Trump. Any candidate would have required some time to reorganize, discover new strategies, and identify new areas of emphasis. While Kamala Harris was making her keynote speech at the Democratic National Convention, Donald Trump was melting down on Truth Social. The former president and convicted felon promised to give a play-by-play of her speech, and it ended up being a long string of whining. Too many thank yous, too rapidly said. What's going on with her? Trump began. It didn't get any better from there. She's talking about how great San Francisco was before she destroyed it. Probably not a good idea. Trump posted, accompanied by a video disparaging Harris's record as a prosecutor in the city. And ever self-conscious, he posted, "Is she talking about me?" when Harris started criticizing him.